All right, today we're tackling a topic that's both a common medical procedure and, let's be honest, a source of some really intense global debate. We're talking about medical termination of pregnancy, or MTP. This is something that sits right at the intersection of medicine, law, ethics, and some deeply personal choices. So let's unpack what it's all about.
To get a sense of just how big this topic is, I want you to look at this number 45 to 50 million. That's roughly how many medical terminations happen around the world every single year. A number that big tells you right away this isn't some rare event, it's a global health reality.
So, what does that huge number actually mean in context? Well, it means that those 45 to 50 million procedures account for about 1/5 of all known pregnancies worldwide. Think about that. For every 5 pregnancies, one ends in a medical termination. That stat alone shows you just how significant this is in the world of reproductive health. Okay, so let's make sure we're all on the same page with the terminology. What exactly is an MTP? The medical definition is pretty straightforward. It's the intentional or voluntary termination of a pregnancy before it reaches full term. You'll also hear it called an induced abortion. They mean the same thing. So, if this procedure is so common, it really makes you wonder, right? Why is it one of the most fiercely debated topics on the planet? Let's dive into the complex reasons that make this such a charged issue. Well, the debate is so complicated because it's almost never just about the medical procedure itself. You're talking about deep personal emotions, really tough ethical questions about life and choice, different religious beliefs, and of course, what it all means for society and families. It's this clash of different values that makes it such a flashpoint all over the world. Okay, so let's shift gears from the big picture debate and get down to the individual level. What are the real world, often very difficult, reasons that lead a person to need this medical procedure? Yeah, this is the core question, isn't it? The answers are never simple, and they're always deeply personal. But they do tend to fall into a few key categories that are really important for us to understand. The reasons are pretty varied. Sometimes it's to end an unwanted pregnancy, which could be the result of a contraceptive method failing, or in the traumatic case of a sexual assault. But other times it's a critical medical decision. It's absolutely necessary when continuing the pregnancy could seriously harm or even kill the mother, or when tests show that the fetus has severe abnormalities that would make life impossible. And this quote right here, it really nails the core medical justification. It all comes down to a risk assessment. The procedure is seen as essential when the danger of continuing the pregnancy is greater than the danger of the termination. It's a decision that's truly grounded in preserving health and saving lives. So how do governments even try to regulate this to keep patients safe? We're going to use India's legal framework as a case study to see how laws can be set up to create a path for safe medical terminations. In India, this whole legal journey kicked off back in 1971. That's when the government legalized MTP, but with some very strict rules to prevent it from being misused. Fast forward a few decades to 2017, and an amendment act was passed to modernize the law, specifically to fight against dangerous, illegal abortions and improve maternal health outcomes. What's interesting is that the law actually mirrors the medical science. For pregnancies up to 12 weeks, when the procedure is safer, you need the opinion of one doctor. But for the period between 12 and 24 weeks, which is higher risk, you need 2 doctors to agree. It's a built-in safety check that gets more serious as the medical risks increase. And the reasons for getting an MTP in India are legally very specific. It's allowed if continuing the pregnancy puts the woman's life at risk or could cause serious harm to her physical or mental health. It's also permitted if there's a high probability the child would be born with severe abnormalities that would cause a major handicap. So, what happens when people don't go through the legal channels? This next part looks at the incredibly scary reality of unregulated and illegal procedures. And let me tell you, the difference between a legal and illegal termination is like night and day. A legal MTP is a medical procedure done by a trained professional in a clean, safe facility. An illegal one? It's often done by untrained people in unsafe, unhygienic places. It turns a relatively safe procedure into a life-threatening gamble. Now, one of the most tragic and disturbing illegal trends is sex-selective abortion. It's a heartbreaking 3-step process. First, medical tech like amniocentesis is misused illegally to find out the sex of the fetus. Second, if the fetus is female, the 3rd step is an illegal abortion. This isn't just against the law, it's a massive social problem with devastating consequences.
Look, making sure there's access to safe legal termination is absolutely critical. But what's the real endgame here from a public health perspective? It's prevention. So how can we as a society reduce the need for MTPs in the first place? Let's look at a more proactive way of thinking about this. And the answer isn't just one simple thing. It's a whole strategy. It means making sure people can actually get contraceptive methods easily. It means having real, comprehensive sex education. It means providing counseling on safe sex and making sure people know about options like emergency contraceptives. It's all about empowering people with knowledge and tools. And really, this is what it all boils down to. The ultimate vision is to create a society where MTP becomes less and less necessary, not by banning it or restricting it, but by empowering people through better education, better family planning, and just better overall healthcare that lets them make informed choices. So, I want to leave you with this question to think about. How can we build a future where every single pregnancy is a wanted one, and every single choice a person makes about their reproductive health is a safe one? That's the real challenge and the ultimate goal.